I use that like every day.
All right.
I always remember where it came from.
Okay, so the stream is up, people. Okay. So now we got it. I'm just going to have a quick look. Oh, it looks beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's real. Okay, cool. All right, guys.
I want to see it.
Yeah, it should be on YouTube there now.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for it.
Okay.
I'm looking for it with my looking face.
My looking fingers. Right on. All right, so guys, welcome back to the Graceful Saloon. Today, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be finishing off Act 1. During Act 1, the Zeppelin hit the ground at high speeds, and this was the final image you were left with. I'll send it to you all now.
Fuck, it looks like my fantasy grounds crashed and I went to take a piss, but I'm signing back in.
Oh, yeah, that does look pretty sweet.
It was doing the Rocket League thing earlier where you had to hit launch 17 times. I'm coming.
Take your time.
No, don't tell me what to do. I want to rush.
All right. Fucking throw yourself in the trap. I shouldn't say that. That's rude.
I didn't get the image to come up on my thingy.
It doesn't look... I'm just waiting until fucking Kote gets in here, so I only have to send it once.
All right.
I'm back.
You're there? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give it a second, because it always has this bullshit thing whenever people sign on.
Why don't I see Ortolan?
Oh, did I accidentally make him my character? Oh, hold on.
I don't know. Maybe I just have to reclaim him or something. Here we go.
There you go. I just cleared
There's
ownership
an
for
Ortolan.
you.
Got it. Yep, I got it. It's all good.
Right on.
Yay. Oh, I guess I'll return my wounds to 0. I'm still dead from yesterday.
Yeah. Right on.
That's a great sentence. I'm still dead from yesterday.
All right, so this is the image that we were left with at the end of the last campaign. Or the last session, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
shit.
Right on.
We're dead.
What's the fucking chant from Dune or whatever?
You cut out for
Has
3
no one else
quarters
seen
of that? We didn't even hear what you
really
said.
Quietly. I just said I just hear the chant from Dune in my head. Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'll have to watch that after this.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen the
You
movie
haven't
or the
seen
show.
it?
I haven't seen the
You're
movie
gonna
or the show.
Oh, there's only one of them that's worth watching, and it's the recent one. But your campaign is so like stylistically similar, not in a bad way, just in a you must like Dune way. It's like when you watch it, you're going to be like, "Whoa!" Like, am I sure I haven't seen this?
Awesome. All right, so guys, we'll start with who's inside the... so everybody here, except for Freckled, is kind of like, you guys were holding on for dear life. You were actually in the same compartment, Ortolan, as Victor's character, because you were both monks. You both decided to go to the library and meditate or something. Like, I just made shit up because you weren't there. But Westra, you're in the bar section, and you are in the cockpit, or what's left of the cockpit, with Machiavelli Brian. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And as soon as it hits, you basically all fade to black, and then we're going to start with, let's say, Ortholan, you're going to wake up first. Ortholan, you raise your head out of what seems to be a room filled with sand and compartment doors that are busted open. And you take a look around, and it's pretty close to pitch dark inside with very little light.
My hurt.
You take a look down, and you notice that one of your fingers is dislocated.
Say you take a...
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've never seen any of your body limbs act like that before, so it's kind of jarring. You're like, oh!
All right. Well, because he's a monk, his external reaction will be one of understatedness, and I'm going to try and pop my joint back into place and see if I can.
Right on. Do a medicine check, please.
Medicine. Oh yeah, I must be good at that. Fuck is it? It's under M for medicine. Who'd have thought?
I pushed you the picture there, Freckle. I remembered this time. Ha ha. Victory is mine. All right. I think, so you are 4. Okay, so your medicine check, you're able to set it easily. And you did it in a way that there was very little pain. And you kind of ball your fist up and crack it like you're just like a superior G.
Sweet. Okay, well, Orlin will silently look around and while trying not to display any emotion, even though he's alone, he knows he has to be disciplined and he's very good at not talking and crying out. So he'll just calmly, without exclaiming, feel his way toward the nearest exit.
Very good. As you start to proceed near to the closest exit, there's a small black mass that is under the ground or that is deep within the sand under, right in front of the door. And you can kind of tell that there's some kind of a furry mass underneath it.
Well, I'm going to look for a different way out.
Very good. I'll get you to do a knowledge perception check. Or a perception check, sorry. Okay, as you eye the mass in the ground, you kind of get a recollection that you've seen it before, and you recognize it to be the back of Nikolai's head.
Oh,
Damn.
this is no animal. So upon realizing that, Orlin will drop to his knees and start kind of cautiously uncovering it.
Right on. And just so you know, Ginger, Nikolai is Victor's character. If just to give you a heads up. As you kind of shimmy the sand left and right, you can kind of notice that, like, even though his face was deep within the sand, his face was kind of blocked by like a piece of wood. So Victor's in the chat. Hey, what's up, Victor? We're just talking about you. So Nikolai's face is actually buried underneath the sand, but there's a piece of wood over his mouth to an area where there was a small pocket of air for him to breathe, and he comes conscious. And he kind of just like bursts out of the sand, like, what the fuck?
All right. Well, Erdogan looks for a second like he's going to betray some emotion, but then he masters himself, and a look of determination comes over his face. He turns around and he uses his massive rabbit feet to dig Nikolai out of the sand.
Perfect. So you use both bounce up, and Nikolai he kind of gives you a solemn bow, just like from one monk to another. You know, it's a special bow, kind of like a sign of mass respect. And he goes, oh, I'm going to let Victor speak for his own character, but yeah, you got the reins on this one. What would you like to do?
Ordolan's just going to look at Nikolai and he's going to be like, we need to go home.
And Nikolai goes, yeah, you're not, you tell me, brother.
And he's going to put his arm on his shoulder in a completely non-homoerotic way and kind of saunter out through the door and take a gander at this desert landscape.
Right on. So as you exit the door, you actually notice it to be very similar to the section of the map that was at the bottom of the Zeppelin. It's still the same layout, except there's mass damage everywhere. So as you kind of proceed out the door, you take a look left and right, and you can see Machiavelli's hallway, you can see the Echo Lab, you can see everything, but half of it has been destroyed with very little pathways in between. We're going to hop over to Westra. Westra, you are before the crash happened, you and the gentleman that knew they were all going to die all started face chugging the barrels in the bar. like just
Oh,
like
yeah.
mouth to the thing, and then when you wake up, you notice that the sand around you is quite soaking wet, and your body's imprint has been made into the sand.
Lovely. I think Wester's gonna just kind of slowly collect her bearings, look around, make sure she's alive.
Very good. As you take a look around, I'm going to get you to roll a perception check.
And you. There we go. Did
Okay.
it not go off? Did I do it wrong?
No, you got to grab the dice and throw it in the chat.
I thought I did that. Maybe I let it go in the wrong spot.
Yeah, sometimes it's finicky. There you go.
There we go.
All right. So as you look around, you can see that like partial. So you're in the bar, and right next door was the research library. And as you kind of look back and forth to where the hoes usually live in the back end of the bar, you can see that the wall's been completely torn down by impact, and you can actually see a small piece of paper kind of sticking out from the sand.
All right. Westra, being the, like never want to get dirty type that she is just going to conjure a mage hand and grab that piece of paper.
Very good. So as you pick it up, this is what you receive. And this is on papyrus, not this is on papyrus, not like paper.
An accident.
So if you could read that out loud, that would
Really?
be great,
Nobody?
Jack.
Okay.
Let's see here. She seems to be. Is this something I can read out loud for everyone?
Yes.
All right. So I picked up something. Journal entry number 206. Machiavelli. I see her. She seems to be standing in some kind of ritual chamber. The walls are made of sandstone with gold lining. Around the trim of large pictures on the wall, it seems to tell a story of some kind. If I was alone, I would take some time to study this, but the seer need to know if she can be trusted. It's like some like Cleopatra looking mural thing.
Yeah. So everybody can see the picture at the bottom of this, correct? Like the actual Egyptian picture at the bottom. Can everybody see that? Hello?
I can see it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry, it's there.
Okay, good. I was getting worried that we lost everybody for a second.
No, I had fucking inhaled a doobie a little too deep, and I was trying not to fucking pulverize my lungs by talking.
Yeah, I'm so used to it with honky. Just go ahead. But thank you for the thought. I appreciate it. Right on. So as you see this, you can actually see on the left-hand side of this picture, Jack, that this looks to be part of some kind of a journal. It seems to have jagged edges along the side, not in scroll form, but it seems to be in book form.
Okay. It'd be very nice if whoever wrote this journal used, proper nouns instead of just random pronouns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who's I? Who's her?
Exactly.
I'm assuming the I would be Machiavelli because his name's on the page, and it also mentions the seer trusting them, and he's their boss.
There you go.
I'm just gonna fold up this little parchment and just kind of stuff it down my robe somewhere, and just kind of, more concernedly look around and see if there's anyone else still alive other than me.
Right on. So what I'll get you to do is I'll get you to go to your inventory and mark journal entry 206 as something in your inventory. Okay?
Will do.
And as you do that, we're going to pop over to Brian. So, Jaladri, as you come to, you can actually see that you were in the captain's room where the steering wheel is, and as you wake up, your face comes out of the sand. This has happened to you many times before, so you're not really surprised because you were witnessing what was happening, and you're thanking God you're alive. As you move your head upwards and stare out front, you can actually see that the glass pane window that was on the cockpit has blown out. And sand kind of looks like it's a staircase that leads down to the ground outside.
I'm gonna look around and see if the captain's around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you take a look and you can kind of see him face down.
All right, I'm gonna pull him up and try to revive him.
Okay, so as you do, he starts coughing, begging, and wheezing, and you're like taken back because he looked like a pretty frail dude, and you're really surprised that he actually survived.
Oh wow!
Just a quick FYI on the
okay?
broadcast, our webcams are in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's because this is what I feared because we just lost Ginger's webcam. So,
okay.
So now it's as soon as she comes back, it'll go back to normal.
Okay.
Unfortunately, gotcha. So yeah, because you're under Anthony and Brian's under Westra now.
yeah.
I've been keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
Right on, Bri. So yeah, you can kind of, and not only that, but you can also feel like a large temperature difference between the inside of the cabin and outside. It seems to be like probably 20 degrees hotter outside than it is. And inside the cabin is slowly starting to get warmer and warmer to the point of almost uncomfortability. You there, Bri? I think we might have lost Brian.
I have no idea.
That's okay. We knew shit like this was going to happen on the first episode.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Yeah,
never fails.
So we'll go back to.
Fine, so.
Oh, there! I can hear you now. What's up? Can you hear me? Faja, can you hear me?
Yes. Fuck's sakes, I can hear you.
Yay! We can hear you responding. Yay! Okay, so did you hear what I said about the whole Machiavelli thing?
Yeah, I was wondering if he's like unconscious and with me.
Yeah, he's awake, and you're really surprised that he's not dead.
Okay, cool. Well, I suggest we get out of here before anything else happens to this fucking stupid ship, and let's go see if we can't find my friends.
You kind of see Machiavelli take a look left and right, and you guys can actually see down at the end of the cabin that there is the staircase elevator system that you got into that brought you up here, but it seems to be broken, and the doors are open, and you can kind of see the cable pulley system that is from your room that goes all the way down 3 or 4 floors.
Do you want to take the sand stairway?
He kind of looks at you and he says, "You know what? That ain't a bad idea. Everybody's probably dead, I would say. Should we not get to safer pastures?" And I'm going to get you to roll an insight check. You can tell he's freaking the fuck out. He's very scared. Like, to the point of almost madness, he's scared.
Well, I am to assume that this ship is not done blowing up and say, yeah, fine, let's roll.
Right on. So the both of you together kind of help each other up onto the causeway system of the control panel at the front end of the room.
Let's roll. Let's run.
Sorry?
The fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you were a little choppy there for a second, so I apologize.
Oh, wait. Take this. No worries. I'm going to give him my shell, and he's going to, like, my shield shell, so I can slide down the sand, and I am going to, like, just jump on my back and slide down.
Right on. So as you slide down with him, it's kind of like... Yeah, exactly. So as you get down, you guys hop onto it and sail down. It's it's about a 30-degree decline all the way south. And then once you hit the plateau down at the bottom, you guys kind of slide to a standstill. And I need you to make a perception check. Okay, so, and before you, like, I know it doesn't matter this time, but if at any point you're using your eye, like the eyepiece that you got from the previous area, if you're using that and I see the bonuses, I assume you're wearing it visibly. Okay, so you need to let me know if you're not, if you have it covered, that's going to be a -2 to what that was, because you're getting the +9 from having it on. So just remind me. So if you ever want to do a perception,
I was still
cool. So whatever.
Oh yeah, no. It's just it's still off from last time.
Okay, good. So that would be a 13. Okay. So what ends up happening is as you take a look over, you can actually see 5 or 6 sand dunes that are correlating in between each other. Sorry? Oh, I think there's a big delay going on.
Well, it's on. Like, my rag was off.
Sorry?
So I was just letting you know that the rag that was covering it was off from last game.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure aware that if you want to do a perception check without that on, just make sure to let me know before you roll. So if that ever changes. So as you take a look over and look over the sand duney areas, you can see 5 or 6 different sand dunes that are correlating to each other. And you can see very large rock surfaces that look to be made out of sandstone. And you catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure on the horizon.
Oh shit. Like just a glimpse?
Yeah, so imagine if the sun is behind the outline so that it's blocked out so you can't really discern anything, but you know something there because it's casting a shadow towards you.
Oh. I'm gonna ask Billy if he sees him.
He is going to try. Says, I see the outline of a person, but could it be an animal? Could it be an enemy? Oh, we must find shelter. Quickly. And he starts panic looking around. All right, so we're going to pause there and we're going to jump over to Ginger. Are you ready? Freckled, I mean. Fuck!
I was just snapping.
Just now, yeah, it's fucking, you're on, girl. So as you start to approach the landscape up above you, you see a large crackle of a meteor-sized city hitting the ground at high speeds. Through the course of your travels, getting closer and closer, you're thinking to yourself, I think this is a place I can get scraps for my base to survive. Like, you're really thinking about food, water, all that kind of stuff. You're not necessarily an evil person that would go kill somebody for food, but you're an opportunist when it comes to this kind of stuff because you've lived in the desert for quite a long time.
Okay. The first question is there a map up right now?
Not at this particular point, no. This is the only thing that you should have up on your screen is the journal entry page.
Okay.
So yeah. So as you can, yeah. So like just to give you kind of a little context, I would think it's probably about 3 p.m. So the sun is setting on one side behind you. Towards that, you can see it kind of like the actual Zeppelin itself. The top bubble part of it is gone. Like it's in pieces on the other side of a large hill. But you just see the bottom half of the Zeppelin kind of crashed in. Still mostly intact, mind you. But you can see very worrisome structural damage that could like potentially be dangerous. And you also see a giant turtle. Do you want to give us after you're done taking your hoot, Brian, do you want to give us a description of your character? And Machiavelli, which is kind of like a devil-looking guy with a goatee. Oh, fuck, bros. Here it is. He's here.
Skirp, skirp, skirp.
Skirp, skirp, skirp. What's up, buddy? You want to join in on this?
I mean, you guys go ahead and keep going. I'll see where I'm at.
Yep. So, Ginger, Freckle. Fuck, I'm working on it. So what you end up seeing is just like a gigantic like husk of a ship. The explosions that are happening are on the other side of the mountain where the top half of the Zeppelin is, but everything seems to be pretty kosher safe on the bottom.
Is she hearing any explosions? Can she?
Oh, definitely. You can hear pops and bangs and like metal scraping on metal from a very long ways away. So, but with your travels and how good you are at scouting, you can kind of tell that there's almost like a delay between when those explosions are happening to the time you can hear it. So you can you'll see like a giant fireball go up, but you won't hear it for 2 or 3 seconds. That's how far away you are.
And you said the big turtle and the other dude are near me?
Yeah, they would like imagine them being down the cliff and across the desert, probably I want to say 500-600 feet away. So you can just see an outline of them too, but you can see them better than they can see you. But you don't even know if they can see you or not. Shut up.
Okay. So yeah, she's just scavenging right now. She's trying to get whatever she can for food and resources. Every time she does see something alarming in the sky, she just takes a minute to mentally note the seconds that it takes between the time she sees it and the time she hears it, and she starts to kind of like in her mind think, okay, this is about how far away the danger is, and I don't know, she's just really trying to get her own shit together so that way she can be safe.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will get you to roll me a perception check as you look around.
And that's in the
Skills.
front skills.
Yeah. Did you get your mouse?
Yes, I have my mouse.
Good. That was my
Oh my
job to
God.
remind you.
I know. Okay, so perception.
Yes, please. Okay, so here's what you see. So imagine the Zeppelin's directly in front of you. As you kind of look up and around, you can see that there's no animals in the sky. Because of your travels, you kind of remember from your naturalistic views that not a lot of things would fly around in the sky during the day here. So there's very little animals, no animals you see in the sky. But what you do see is kind of like a Moesque type cloud that looks like debris that was coming from the Zeppelin. So it's kind of like a commercial airliner. When it's flying, you can see the trail. So it's kind of wiggly throughout the sky. It looks like it was dodging left and right. As you look closer towards the group you see before you, I need you to make a nature check. So what you're able to discern from what's in front of you, you can't really tell what kind of creatures are ahead of you, but you do notice them to be kind of out of place. They look like they are not from around this location. And you can also notice that one of them is a really big turtle, the other one is a devil, like I mentioned before. And you kind of put 2 and 2 together that they might be Telmarian. Now, what faction did you end up picking again out of the 3? Remind me.
So the 3 factions?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me check my notes.
Yeah, it should be in your notes.
It's not.
Okay, so you picked the one that was all about... I'm pretty sure it was the middle one, so it would be the seer.
Yes, yep.
So you're part of the seer, and you're able to identify that those people are probably from the main city. So you've seen kind of their outfit style before, but you don't know exactly where their loyalties lie.
I think for now, she just takes everything in, and she's gonna keep her eye on them. She's definitely gonna keep her eye on them, and maybe she's gonna move slightly closer so that way she can get a better look of things.
Oh,
but
for sure. Off to the right-hand side, just a little ways, probably 20 or 30 feet away from you, there actually is like a separate sand dune that goes higher. So you're more than welcome to go up there.
yeah.
Perfect.
So she's gonna make her way.
Right on. All right, so we're gonna pause there, and we're gonna go over to Ortolan. Ortolan, as you and Dimitri start clawing your way outside of the room, and you kind of assess the situation, you notice that the rockways of the kind of like sandstone cliffs have kind of divided the bottom of the Zeppelin into two halves. So the side that you're on is the Echo Lab and the library. That's what you see ahead of you. You do see a pathway that goes off to the left, but it looks like it's very small to a point where you might not be able to fit through it.
Morland, being a man of few words, will say, "What do you think, Dimitri? Look for survivors?"
Says, well, at this point we must pool our resources to survive, eh?
I don't think either of us can fit through there. Let's go this way.
Okay, so he's going to actually make a perception check. He's going to make an investigation check. So as you guys are walking by, Dimitri looks over and says, although be it not to kind of extend a helping hand or no, but it does look like with a little bit of effort we could possibly get through there if need be. I know it may not be important now, but perhaps later.
Well, let's just hope nothing important is back there.
And he nods. So as you guys approach, you guys pass by what used to be the door to the library. So if you guys remember, anything that you learned from the library, you can check out on the 5E tooltips that I introduced you guys to. If you have any questions about any of the buildings and what they do, that would be the place to do it. Right on.
Okay.
All right, so now what we're going to do is, let me see here. We are going to get Westra. I need you to do a perception check, please. Are you having a light switch rave there, Brian?
Maybe.
You look like me in September, bro. You got all kinds of different colors coming across you.
All right. So as you take a look through the, as you guys take a look through, you personally, Westra, through the bar, you can see that the door is relatively untouched by damage or sand, and it is open, just slightly ajar, and you can hear footsteps coming from outside.
Hello? Is anyone else alive?
Ortholan, you hear a cry out of hello, is there anyone else alive?
Do I recognize Westra's voice?
I will get you to do a, I don't know what I would call this, a history check, I guess, to see if you remember. I don't know. Yeah,
Does
let's
it have to be a check?
No, fuck it. We'll just say you know it. Fuck it.
Cool. Ah, that sounds like Westra. He mumbles to Dimitri, "That sounds like Westra." Then he'll go, is that?
Yeah, and as you kind of go through towards the door and enter, you kind of see there is fucking Westra with 3 dead bodies.
Oh my.
And here's where I'm going to allow you guys to, I'm going to fix the camera now that Honky's here, so this is going to be roleplay only until I tell you.
Wait, am I about to go on camera?
You can if you want, you don't have to.
Are you gonna have to hang on a second? I just got up here.
You're already on the stream, bud.
Oh, that's fine. The stream's fine. And I said you can hear me do whatever you want, but like if you see me do things, it's different.
No,
I mean?
Yeah, I was going to take a moment to get you on there whenever you're ready, because I think you have a background that'll hide everything behind you, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't have it on.
No, but yeah, as soon as you're ready to go, let me know, and I'll. Because the second you joined in, you went on Westra's spot, and Westra went to Athanthe's spot, and Brian disappeared.
Like, I'm not worried about the things that are behind me as much as I'm worried about the things that's in between me and my PC.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Right on. So, why don't we take this opportunity to take a small 5-minute break if people want to go have cigarettes and shit?
All right.
That would be a good time right now, and we'll take a short
Jack,
little
you
break.
look like my fucking supervisor, bro.
Me?
Yeah, you look like my shipping supervisor. I thought you were Mike when I came in. I was like,
You
fuck,
thought I was.
my supervisor's name's Mike, and like I'm telling you, bro,
okay.
like I'm gonna get a picture of him tomorrow, and I'm gonna post it in chat, and I'm telling you, you guys are fucking identical
Nice.
to the fucking
We'll,
like
we'll get
goatee
back
and
to work, you
everything.
lazy asshole.
I'm a workers' comp. I've been on workers' comp for like 14 months.
Well, tough shit. You don't get no workers' comp on my shipping floor. Start hauling shit around.
This ain't no
Get to work.
unionized bullshit.
Haha, jokes on you, bitch. I'm in a
All
union.
right, so I'm gonna put
I'm in
us
the
on a
best of
quick.
unions.
So I'm gonna put us on a quick mute. You'll still be able to see everything on stream. You just won't be able to hear it, and I'll play some music for the stream. All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Hey, Jack, I just want to put this out to keep calm and kill demons. Nice.
I have that backwards. There we go.
All right, and we're back. So
like that, I couldn't.
yeah, exactly. So Westra, as the door opens, you can see your two counterparts join in. They both have a very like bewildered look on their face.
Wester's just gonna kind of weakly wave. Hi, good to see that you're alive. These guys aren't. I don't like
you're
it
the
here. It's
first,
very corpsey.
You're the first living person we've seen.
Hooray!
Sorry to hear that it's corpsey.
I think we should maybe get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this was a bad idea. He starts to thump his feet like Sonic does when he's warming up to do a fucking ball dash or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here, man." There's a little like passageway back there that maybe one of us could fit through, but I'm not that excited to try it. There's lots of sticky bits in there.
Oh. All right, let's go have a look. I don't want to stay in this cemetery for the rest of my life.
So is there another way to go other than the little cramped path?
Not that you were able to see. So you guys are still in the cafeteria or the tavern location. So just let me know when what your plan is. I got a little distracted.
Get the hell out of here before it collapses on us.
Right. Okay, right on.
Yeah.
So you're heading right out the door. All right. So we're going to jump over to Honky. Steve, my friend, since the last session, the airship has gone down in bloody flames and hit the ground at Mach speed. You are currently in the forge of the previous map. Do you remember the Solly was the Echo Lab was at the top right? The library was on the top left. Then it was Machiavelli's court.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So you're in the bottom right area where the dwarves were. And when you wake up, you kind of pull your head into the sand and you look left and right and you're all by yourself.
I'm all by myself?
You're all by yourself.
All right. So, do I see any wreckage around me?
As you take a look around, you can kind of tell that there were people in here that were moving around because you can see the footprints of their footprints in the sand that go to the main doorway. So you know there were conscious people here at one point, but you're just there like, what?
Okay. I was actually in the library when that all went down, right?
Oh, do you want to retcon it to the library? I can do that too.
Yeah, I thought that's where I was. Or no, we were out on the balcony, just outside the library, fighting that fucking thing.
Oh yeah, but remember, that was just a one shot. That was practice.
Oh.
So really what ended up happening is you guys were all together in the Zeppelin, and then when the Zeppelin went down, because it was just Jack and Brian here, I had to kind of make up a way to separate everybody. So it was basically Nikolai and Ortolan were in the library, and fucking Jack went drinking with all the people that thought they were going to die, and I put you in the forge just because I thought you'd try to use your Echo Lilies as quick as possible before the whole thing went down. That's what I assumed you would do. So as you take a look around, you can actually notice that a lot of what was in your pack got destroyed. But it's just not real things. But like something I was telling everybody else is that you had, in order to survive, all the Echo Lilies had to be used. So nobody has any Echo Lilies at this foreseeable time. So that's the only difference in your inventory. But other than that, you take a look around. The doorway to the actual area where you can walk out on the deck is completely unhindered. On the left-hand side of the room, there's a semi-doorway past the beds where the dwarves were that seems to be still intact, but it had a grate in the front of it, and you can see sand start to pour in from that location. And I need you to roll me a perception check. I will take a perception check whenever you got it.
Yep, I just had to.
All right, so over to the right-hand side of the room, you can actually see what seems to be a small piece of leather protruding from the sand.
I'm going to go investigate it.
Okay, so you walk up to it, and it's probably about 3 inches long by about 1.5 inches wide.
And it's what? Leather?
Leather.
I'm just gonna like kick at the sand to like try to expose more of it.
As you do, you notice it's a boot.
I'm gonna reach down and grab the boot.
Okay, as you do, you can kind of see a significant weight behind it.
Oh, there's a person attached to this boot. I'm going to dig this person out.
Okay, as you dig this person out, you can kind of notice that there's a large, you can kind of discern when you originally tug on it what the outline of the body under the sand looks like. And as you pull, the sand starts to fall away from it, revealing a small white, bright light coming from underneath the sand.
Is this person dead?
Unknown. It's not resisting you. I'll put that out there.
I'm gonna check to see if this thing's alive.
Okay. How would you do that?
I would probably put my hand over his mouth
Okay.
and see if I felt breathe.
Right, okay. So let's say you swatted away all the sand from where his facial location is, and it basically reveals the face of one of the dwarves. So this is a dead body of one of the dwarves. And where his stomach to waist area is, you can actually see an even brighter light that kind of forms as the sand falls away around his waist.
I'm going to step back and I'm going to poke it with my great club.
Okay, as you poke it, more of the sand falls away, and you can actually see it's a small coin purse that is emitting light.
I'll snatch.
Okay, you grab a hold of it, and it's light. It's lightweight. Like, it's not heavy by any means, but you know there's something girthy in the bag because you can kind of feel that there's no separation from the cloth of the bag and what's inside. So you know whatever's in there is taking up most of the space within this coin purse.
Well, I want to investigate and see what the hell's all in this thing.
Awesome. So as you open it up, you notice that it is a lightly coiled echo lily.
Nice.
So I'll get you to add that into your inventory. So everybody present, I want you to go to your inventory and add 1 echo lily.
We all just get one?
Yep.
Every time somebody gets one, everybody gets one.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So you guys can go to your inventory and write echo lily as an item. And Ginger, if you need help on how to do that, I can guide you through it if you want.
Probably some sir.
Yep, just let me know.
Under, I think, the green little plus sign.
So if you look at, I'll open up your character sheet. Just give me one sec. And you go to inventory, which is I'm at right now. And at the top, do you see where it says equipment A 0 out of 3 or 0 out of 2 or something?
Yeah.
Right next to it is a green plus sign. All you do is click it and it'll show up in your inventory as blank. And you just type in, click where that one is and type echo lily. That's all you got to do.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, and Steve, this is kind of like, you've seen a lot of echo lilies in your travels. This does not look like a normal echo lily.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take care of this thing and put it somewhere. I'm going to put it back in its own bag, and then I'm going to put it back in my bag.
Right on. And just as you do that, I'm going to get you to roll a dexterity save. All right. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. So as you go to pick up this echo lily, the ground starts shaking underneath you. And you can kind of tell from your travels and being part with the dwarves is that your character is the one that was raised by dwarves, right? I want to make sure. Okay, good. As you're accustomed to this, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You can kind of tell this is what it feels like when things are shifting and possibly dangerous situations can happen in caves. And not only do you feel it, but everybody feels it. That's in the Zeppelin.
I'm going to, because I'm a Goliath, I can just pick up this dwarven body with no problem. I'm going to pick him up, throw him over my shoulder, and we're going to get the fuck out.
Right on. So as you exit the room, you can kind of tell that there's really only one pathway to follow. Most of it is broken up by sand. And as you pass down this hallway, you take a look to the left, and all you see is Dimitri, Westra, and fucking Ortholand passing by this hole in the wall.
Oh, you're still alive?
Yeah, I'm just going to. You said they ran past me?
Well, they're
didn't
in
know.
transit going past the hole one at a time. And you like by the time you see it, the second person has already started to pass by.
Copy. I'm just going to kind of wait my turn and fall in behind them and not announce myself.
Well, as they are starting to pass by, you can notice that the hole's not big enough for you to fit through. You are a gigantic brute. Even though you're small for a Goliath, you're still pretty big.
What's blocking the hole?
It's just a hole in the sand. Like, it's kind of like how you would see, like, what wind would do, or what water would do to ground. It's kind of like sandstone that's kind of crushed together to make a hole big enough so that you could probably fit a basketball through it.
What, did these guys fit through there?
Probably not. I don't. Well, actually, what sizes are your? I know Jaladri definitely couldn't. But what about Ortholand? You said you were what, 4 foot? What and how weighed how much?
He's also a rabbit.
What was your height and weight again? Did you pick that? You said you were about 4'3", right?
Yeah, I just have to write it down. My height is 4'3" and my weight is like 145.
So I don't think he's small enough to be able to fit through it either. So you kind of put 2 and 2 together, and you're like,
I mean, I do have rabbit whiskers, so I should know whether I can fit through or not, unless there's like debris sticking into the hole. From,
yeah.
like,
It's just at this
yeah.
point, you guys haven't spotted Steve yet.
I'm just standing behind him right now, right?
No, you're on the other side of the hole from them.
No. I'm going to yell at fucking Orlon and tell him to help me dig my way out of this.
All right, I need Ortoland and Westra and Nikolai to roll perception checks.
Okay.
It's going to be funny if no.
Oops, I rolled the wrong check. Let me try again.
This will be funny if nobody hears you. Just Steve's gone forever.
Well, Steve has a way around that.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I know. But that'd just be funny. No, everybody in the group ends up hearing you. So, Ortholin, you take a look over to your right, and through this like basketball-sized hole in the wall, you just see this white and red fucking Goliath head poking out. You can see the eyes and like the nose and the top part of the mouth.
Do I recognize him?
Yeah.
I called you by name.
Guys, is that Steve? Steve!
Help!
Help! Help!
Like, kick at the wall.
That's what you hear, guys. Help!
Ortoland's gonna walk up and peer through the orifice.
As you walk up and peer through the orifice, you can see that the other side of the cave that Steve is in is quite well protected by sandstone on the opposite side, like through the wall that's behind him. And on the bottom seems to be immovable stone. What you do end up noticing is, on the right-hand side, you see a part of a sandstone block that you believe that if you reefed on this thing hard enough, a section of the wall would open for Steve.
He's gonna turn back to Westra and Dimitri and be like, "Hey guys, I think we can open this up, but I'm worried we're gonna cause a collapse. Are any of you an engineer?"
Sorry, Steve. It was nice knowing you.
I mean, technically, I am a cave-dwelling Goliath. This is kind of my specialty.
So because of how arrogant Westra is, you kind of she kind of gives you like the kiss on the finger and the wink, like she's obviously playing with you, Steve, but she just wants to like kind of poke fun. So
yeah.
And just so that we are aware, obviously, Ginger, Wester is female, so Jack is playing a female character. I assume you already knew that, but I wanted to explain to the viewers at home that may not know as well. So what you're looking at is you have a cinder block lever system that you will have to put pressure on the top of to lodge the disc up that will free Steve. That's what you...
Okay.
So I'll leave it in your guys' hands.
Does it look like if we put pressure on this disc, it's going to cause, like, does it look like it's kind of holding the wall up or the ceiling or anything like that? Like, are we going to kill ourselves?
I will let you all make investigation checks for this one thing.
All right.
I'm
stupid.
stupid.
I am also.
I also rolled a natural 20.
That's good, because everybody else
this
sucks
is gonna be
dick.
good. The dumb one's going to figure it out.
So, Orphaland, you're able to notice that if one person's, so the lever system with the stone plate is on the right-hand side of the hole. On the left-hand side of the hole, you can see, like, an introverted stone piece that looks like it's holding the wall up, and you know for a fact that if somebody weighing more than 150 pounds stands on it, the thing shouldn't fall and kill anybody, and still make a path for Steve.
Oh. Guys, I see. This looks like just like something we use in the brewery to lift the fucking I don't know what you call the thing that wine is made in.
Kegs onto the wall?
We use something. Yeah, we use something like this just in the brewery. It's a pulley system. You must have seen this before. I don't know how it works, but I know if somebody of substantial girth stands right there, he should be able to get through. And he points at the plate.
Wester just throws her hands up. Don't look at me. I'm too light for
I don't
that.
think I'm heavy enough. Maybe if we both stand on it at the same time. Or I could just... Wait a minute. Ortolan suddenly just makes a twitchy movement and darts over to the plate. Starts jumping up and down on it with his rabbit feet. He's only 7 pounds shy. Maybe he can get it to... Inertia is the thing.
I'm just like seeing in my head like this image of like Bugs Bunny just like friggin' stomping down on something over and over again now.
See, I was thinking of Rabbit stomping on Winnie the Pooh.
I was thinking of Thumper from Bambi.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
he's like smacked his foot on the ground.
Oh yeah, you can see my face palm now. Yay! Everybody can see my face. Well, you guys can't, but everybody on can. Awesome. Right on. So as you guys congregate, you guys kind of notice how the pulley system works, and you're easily able to pull it off. Who's yanking the pulley?
I'm standing on the...
You heard me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nikolai can do it.
There you go. So Nikolai walks up, and you can just kind of see him. He does a small little bow in a respect to Steve as he goes across and just like I want to say like Jackie Chan fucking do a backflip and kick the goddamn lever. And just as he nails it, you can actually hear several cracks of sandstone go up the wall and over to the right, and it opens up a path that's probably about 6 feet tall. Steve, you have been freed.
I'm a duck through that fucking hole with my little buddy.
Right on. Now, everybody, I need to make a dexterity save, please.
Knew this was coming.
Phew. Got a 19.
Bam. Everybody makes their save, and the ground begins to shake beneath you with parts of the ceiling starting to cave in. It really seems like this place is about to fucking, like, fall down immediately.
Oh god. Is there another way that we can go?
Yes, back the way of the elevators is the only other way to go. It would be if you were walking from the library to the Echo Lab, it's down that area. That's where all of you guys split off with Machiavelli. You remember he went to the captain stations and you guys went to the engine room? That's the only pathway open.
Right? With a sarcastic, oh, this day just keeps getting better and better, Westra's just going to take the hell off down that way to try to get away from the collapsing everything.
Very good. So as you guys are all running down the hallways in single file, obviously, you can start to notice that the pathway behind you gets smaller and smaller as cascading rocks start to smash together and sandstone going to brittle dust. You guys climb. You guys come to the end of the hallway and you notice that there's a ladder system that goes directly to where Machiavelli was. As you guys start to climb up one by one, the pillars behind you start to let go and the entire thing crashes in on itself. As you guys get to the top, you notice you're in the captain's quarters. The temperature in this room has jumped quite high. It's still very bright outside, and as you guys look out the window, you can see Galadriel and Machiavelli standing in the sand.
Hey guys,
Well,
not dead yet, I see.
I'm just going to point to the guy on my shoulder. I'm like, pretty sure this guy is.
Yay, Steve. Thank you.
Pretty sure this guy is expired.
You guys hear a ceremonial didum.
Are we still not in a safe area yet?
So as you guys take a look above you, you can start to see that the shambles of what was left of the Zeppelin is starting to shake and looks like it's about to fall.
Oh, who else learned from the Prometheus school of running away from things? Let's get away from this thing, but sideways.
Yes.
running.
So are you kind of doing like the anime panicked arms that look like arrows in every direction? Kind of, can we just go? Can we just go?
We go. We're all just pointing to each other like, you're in charge, like the Spider-Man meme.
Very good. So now you guys are starting to progress your way away from the Zeppelin into the desert landscape. Ianthe, you're going to notice from your perch way far back, you guys are about, I want to say now that they're starting to advance forward, they're about 300 feet away from you. The section that you're in, they can't come into that location. They're actually having to pass through a gulf to continue. So there's kind of like, imagine like a cave of sandstone with the top cut off, and that's what they have to pass through to get out of the area they're in. So you're up about, I want to say 30 feet in the air on top of a mountain looking down, and I'm going to get you to roll a perception check.
By the way,
Is that
guys,
skills
just
or
so you know, I
fist?
saw something earlier.
That's under skills.
I'm not sure what it is.
What were you saying, Bri?
I mean, I said, so not to alarm you guys, but I think we first came out here, not sure what it is.
So as you guys are getting the description, the shadowy figure just kind of has an exclamation point above his head. But Freckled, what you end up seeing is... All right, Jack, can you give me a description of your character, please?
You see what appears to, at this distance, just be a normal human woman wearing a big-ass green cloak.
And Brian, can you give a description of your character?
Being like a tall entrance with like duper old shell covered in moss and like mold, and there are some small gold flecks and stuff in the shell.
And just in case you missed that because it stuttered there at the beginning, but he's a turtle. Just so you know. I know that part was missed. Giant big turtle.
Gross turtle.
Gross turtle. Icky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I'm your healer.
The guy walking around with gangrene growing on his shell is the guy that heals us.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so Ortolan, I'll
Pretty
get
sure
you
I
to
made somebody puke.
I'll get you to describe your character, even though she pretty much already knows from the last section. But I'll let you describe your character, please.
He's like a taller taller heron gun or bunny rabbit compared to what you're used to seeing, and he's stout and sure-footed and wears simple but well cared for robes and leather moccasins that don't really cover his feet. They're just kind of ornamental.
And I want to ask a question, and I don't want you to get insulted, but are you like pear-shaped, like rabbits are depicted, where your upper body is smaller than your lower body, or are you?
You can't tell.
You can't tell with his robes.
No, there's a lot of layers of cloth, and
Awesome.
he appears to be like the build that you would expect from like the average humanoid. You don't notice like a giant rabbit rump, but you see the huge, like probably 12 to 16-inch long feet. That can't be hidden.
All right, so play hard to get. That's fine.
And he does walk with a certain odd bounce that you don't normally see due to the reversed knees.
There you go. And Steve, I'll let you describe yours.
Just to add one more note, Mortalin's weird kind of enthusiastic gait that he can't really control because he's a rabbit belies his like severely understated personality, and it's a weird contrast.
So it's like somebody angry using like playing hopscotch. They just got a stern look, even though it looks like it's a lot of fun.
That is a really good description.
I was going to say a pogo stick actually instead of hopscotch.
No, hopscotch is better. Or even like one of those things that people would spin around their ankle with one foot and jump over it with the other foot. Imagine someone doing that with like a frown.
Awesome. All right, Steve, give us a brief description.
Steve's like 6'7".
Oh, we lost your cam again.
No, I shut it down. The light was too bright.
Oh, fuck. All right, I gotta move people then. Blah, 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 blah.
Steve's like 6'8", 280 pounds. He's like gray-white. He's got like red scarring all over him. He was abandoned by the glass and raised by dwarves.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
She can tell all this from a glance. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Of course
It's
you
his
can.
life story tattooed on his forehead.
I do. It's on my back. Actually, it's on my back in tattoos like Maui.
Nice.
Awesome. So that's what you end up seeing, Freckled. So pretty much you know that the time of day, like I mentioned before, was around 3 p.m. and you know the sun is starting to set in the direction that they're going. You know that there's a very large distance between them and anywhere else they could go in this part of the desert. So what would you like to do?
Well, we're underneath my feet is like desert sand and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
right?
you're like at the top of a sand dune that is like half sandstone and half sand.
Okay. In that sand, are there like any desert insects or snakes or anything like that would be near her?
I can get you to do a perception check. Let's start with that. So let's see if you can see anything. All right, so as you take a look around, you notice that there's little small patches along the dune that you're standing on that seem to have like cactus leaves and flowers that are covering like a small little area of really solid sandstone. So that's what you see in your vicinity. And as of now, no, you wouldn't see anything. So you don't see any kind of animals or anything, but you do see that.
Do they see her?
Nope, they have not spotted her.
Is it possible for her to kind of just trail alongside the dunes in the direction that they're going, but not necessarily moving toward them.
Yes, 100%. So the pathway that you're kind of standing on that's above them, both run parallel to each other, one being 30 feet up the cliffside, and it's non-hindering terrain, like it's easily traversed.
Okay. So I think she's gonna follow them for a little bit, but she definitely notices the odd group and doesn't necessarily want to warn them that there's nothing in that direction that would be helpful or anything for them, but she also doesn't not want to let them know, so she's kind of conflicted and she just wants to scope it out for a minute before she acts on anything.
Okay. Awesome.
I would say that she only probably spends. Can she only trail them for like a couple of minutes and then decide to go ahead and move forward?
That's completely up to yourself.
Yeah, so she's gonna go ahead and decide to move forward, and I think she's gonna try and get as close as she can.
Okay. So what I would like you to do as your character is starting to walk up to the cliffside, peer over, and kind of keep an eye on them, I want you to roll a history check for me.
History?
Yeah.
Okay, I see it.
Oh, okay. So, in your mind, you're starting to picture you somewhere before you've seen these people, and you just can't put your mind on it. For some odd reason, through the clout of the hot day and the lack of water in this particular area, you're very sun-dried and tired from your travels, that there's something about these guys that's kind of giving you a little brain tingle.
All right, well, fuck it. She's gonna try and get as close as possible and holler out, "Hey, where are you going?" To any of them, so they can hear her.
Very good. I'm going to get everybody to roll perception checks. That's not Ianthe.
1 second. I'm keeping my coffee. Oh, I shouldn't be drinking this.
It's 11 o'clock today.
I got like 3 sips left, and I'm like, man, I want to have smoke. Just heat up what's left of this cup and just sit my way through it. All right, perception coming right up.
Hopefully you do better than the 15.
That's likely.
With a 16.
Very good. All right. So Westra, when you slightly hear this muffled voice coming from somewhere around you, and as you dart your head back and forth, you notice that the area that you're in is actually kind of a dangerous one, that if somebody may be above you, it could be bad for the group. Jaladri, what you're able to understand is that usually, because you're from this area, you know that valleys through here can be quite traversable, and you know that, like, in the situation you're in, normally these ravines will actually start to take you on a downward path that might be able to put distance between you and what's ever above you that's calling out to you. Steve, you're able to see a shadow upon the wall from the opposite side of where this kind of blackened figure is lurking. So you see the shadow on the right-hand wall, which means it's up and to the left of you. And Ortholan, you're able to discern, you caught a small little glimpse of, and I'm going to get Freckled to roll a stealth check. All right, so the only thing you're able to see, Ortholan, as you take a look up on top of the ridge, is the very faint crest that is on this person's shoulder. And I'm going to get you to roll another perception check. Or, sorry, not perception, history. My bad.
Who's rolling?
Kote. Ortolan.
Yeah. Do you say history?
Yes, please.
I'm stupid.
All right, you're able to put 2 and 2 together that you've seen that emblem before, and you notice it to be the emblem of the seer.
Ooh, I see. Borderlands whiskers are going to start moving suddenly, as you can see him thinking about something, and he will spill the beans after thinking about it for an appropriate period of time.
That sounds about right.
So, since she didn't get a reply back or anything like that, she's just going to continue to trail them. And
Guys,
Well, we haven't.
this is the emblem of the seer. I got it.
Oh, right.
His ears perk directly up in the air. I know where I've seen this before. As soon as you start to walk away, he's like, I got it. It's the emblem of the seer. That's what this is.
I'm going.
Does anyone else recognize it?
I'm going to brandish my sword that lets me see in the dark.
Okay.
In the middle of the day.
I'm gonna roll a history check to see if I recognize it.
Well, it's
And,
casting shadows and stuff.
and you do. You do recognize it to be that.
Yay! Okay, I'm gonna call back and be like, friendly.
That is the gigantic molding turtle.
All right.
Push your, you
Kidding?
scumbag. Push your
So, Ianthe, you're able to hear this like bellowing cackle of her howl that just says, friendly.
okay.
So you've kind of hidden yourself over the edge of the cliff so that they can't see you.
Okay. But she could potentially get down. She could get down to them if she wanted.
Oh yeah, you could just stand up and reveal yourself if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. So she's just gonna stand up and she's gonna say, well, she's just gonna peer over the edge to where her appearance can be seen, but she's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna look down for a little bit before she decides to start to make her way down towards them.
All right, so the rest of the party sees this unknown entity start to walk down the cliff hand side, and I'm gonna get so everybody, what you're able to see is Ginger. Can you give us a description of your character, please?
Yeah, so she's just your typical like 5'5" average weight druid. She has long silver hair. She is dressed in desert cloths, and they're kind of tattered, but also they're really colorful for her race. And there's nothing like dead set about her appearance other than the crest that she wears on her chest. That gives you all too much information about like who she is or where she comes from or why she's even there in the middle of the desert or kind of thing.
All right, so now what I need is Jaladra. I need you to roll me a history check. All right, what you're able to tell from the person standing in front of you is because of your travels outside of Talmaria, because you're a druid, you were able to leave and come as you please through the waterway systems through Talmaria. You're able to discern that you've traveled the world for quite a while in your pilgrimage, and you're able to notice that this person in front of you is from the Forgotten Realms.
Oh. Hmm. Does anybody have their weapons drawn or anything?
I think Honky's the only one.
But only because it
And
gives
he
me
doesn't.
light.
Ordeland kind of uses his quarterstaff as a walking stick, so he has it drawn kind of in perpetuity in that way.
Western needs no weapons.
She's such a pompous bitch.
Well, you guys,
She's like the
you guys wait here for a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start approaching her and like leave my scimitar, but I'm bringing my shield.
Understood. So it's kind of like Captain America. You're walking it with it out in front of you, kind of deal.
Like in front of me, just like sort of like off to the side.
Shoulder hugged.
You know, like not like I'm like gonna be defending, but just like
make sure she sees it.
Got it.
Gotcha. So you take a few steps forward, Jaladri, and in front of you is this giant turtle that looks generally grimy. And he kind of bids you a nod. All right, so you guys are looking at each other face to face.
Hang on.
We're looking at each other.
Ianthe is looking at them.
No, your character and Brian's character are face to face now. You're like eyeing each other up.
Okay.
Are there any like flowers or anything near her?
No.
Oh wait, no, I got it. Oh, okay, I am going to cast Druidcraft.
Oh.
Which allows me to create tiny, harmless sensory effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to scatter like falling leaves around her.
All right. So, describe how your character would move in the process. Like, what would the turtle? How would the turtle? Yeah, how would it look?
It's a very fluid, graceful mode, like, you know, almost like interpretive dance, but like much more warlike. Not warlike, but like aggressive. Like every move is a very like sharp kind of thing, but it's also like fluid.
Right on. So what I need from you, Freckled, is I need you to roll me a Knowledge Arcana check. So just an Arcana check. My bad. I keep putting knowledge at the front of things because I'm a bitch for 3.0. So you are able to successfully identify that spell. And what was it called again, Brian? Druidcraft? Yeah, Druidcraft.
Druidcraft.
And you recognize that to be a spell that you can also cast.
Okay.
So you get no... And I'm going to get you to... One last thing before I let you go is... I need you to roll me an insight check. All right, you personally can't tell if he did this big grand dance that allowed him to cast the spell. So your brain kind of like is thinking, yeah, okay, I know what that spell is, but I don't know what his intent is. You're still unsure of his intent.
I think she's gonna hold respect for the fact that he chose to cast that spell and not just harm her, but she's gonna awkwardly say, okay, well, thanks for that. Are you in any trouble?
Awesome. So because you've identified the spell, you also know that he's a fellow druid.
Yeah.
So that's the commonality. As you take a look back, Jaladri, you're able to notice the rest of the group is kind of gathered behind you now. And as you guys approach Ortholan, Dimitri, and Steve, you can kind of notice that the gear is kind of spec'd for light travel on Ianthe. And you can kind of tell that, like, through the separations of materials, you notice, like, weathered skin, as if though she's been traveling through the desert for quite a long time.
Are we in a safe location now?
Is that a question to me or to everybody?
It's a question to you.
I have no idea.
The GM. Okay, well, I feel like I should be safe with 5 dudes around me. I'm going to set this dwarf down And
No time.
hang on here. And I'm going to run his pockets, see if he has anything on him.
Yeah, nothing except for the coin purse with the Echo Lily, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I'm going to strip him buck naked
Mm-hmm.
and put his clothes
I'm gonna
in
call
my
out to the
pockets.
girl.
I almost
Move
choked.
like 30 feet away from what's going on over there. And I'm gonna set down my shell. I'm gonna sit on it, and I'm gonna like yell at her, like, "Come, sister of the sand, come speak."
So Ginger, you're
And,
able,
like, then
or
I'm going
Freckled,
to-
you're going to be able to see like this honking turtle. Like he moves fairly quickly for a creature of his size. Like you can notice that he very much resembles what we are saying to be a snapping turtle. So he has a very large beak, and as it moves, every syllable he makes, you can hear the clack of chitin from his mouth.
So, Sean, could you help me a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So are you trying to find it hard to find commonality, or try to like have an ascertained vision of what you want to like discuss with him? Is that the kind of thing? So
Yes.
because of your character, like you know that these guys are fucked if you don't help them. They're fucked. They're out in the middle of the desert. So you know personally in your character's head that you have the advantage over them. So you're kind of finding commonality, but also knowing that you got the best hand at the poker table, right? So that's kind of the situation you're in right now. So what you're trying to discern is whether or not these people are trustworthy and what faction do they belong to. Because you can tell that they're from Talmeria, so who are they aligned with? Because if you remember back what happened in season 1, and I kind of gave you the run-through, this Esri chick was part of the Tarl, trying to fuck everyone up. So you know what happened in Talmeria because you got it as a report, and you're trying to decide whether or not these guys are suspect or friends. That's pretty much all I can really give you.
Okay. Well, she is just going to straight up ask, well, she's just gonna say, I don't think you guys want to go that way. That doesn't seem like it's gonna be a fun way for you to go. But also, where are you going and why? I can help if you deem yourselves trustworthy.
All right, so let's go ahead.
Over my shoulder as I'm stripping this dwarf naked.
Yeah, you just see this. You can tell this guy stands out because Steve is like the opposite color of the sand, so he just looks like this big. Well, like how tall is your character again, Honky? It was like 6'8". So this 6'8" kind of tanky looking motherfucker with a bunch of red and white like tribal logos on him. So he's quite intimidating, and he doesn't really give a fuck about what the conversation is. He's just like, you can see him, he's just smiling, like looting. He's like looking it over to see if there's any scratches on the dude's clothes. Like he's looking at it with a magnifying glass to see how much it might be worth, and then he's just kind of going on his business.
Well, we're in the middle of a desert and gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, hang on a second, because there's a whole process to this. I just got him naked first, man. And then we'll put 2 coins on his eyes, and then we're gonna leave him there on the fucking rock.
Okay.
Well, given that the scavenger that she is, she's known she's known to also do the same things if she were to come across a dead body of some sort. So she's not going to hold judgment, but she is a little bit. She doesn't undress her people, so she's typically she doesn't take their clothing, just their belongings.
Right on.
But yeah, that's where she's at. She just wants to know if these travelers are safe, and if not, she wants to help them, but she doesn't fully trust that they're all.
Okay, so I need you to make a knowledge history check for me right now, Freckle.
Everybody, bear with me. I'm.
No, you're doing great. This has gone perfectly, swimmingly. Like we're doing great.
Thank you.
All right, so in the back of your mind, through your travels through this location, you know that the only safe place to go is to the east, and you have to pass through a small farming village to get to where you live. So you pretty much know the way out.
Okay. I don't think she's going to disclose that though.
Nope,
Yet.
you don't have to. You don't have to.
Oh, this bitch got information. Withholding information already. Sneaky bitch. Alright, so yeah, he's going to finish doing the funeral procedures for a dwarven person.
Very good.
The reason he carried the dwarf person out of there is to like take care of the
And
burial rites.
Steve, you also know that each dwarf carries with him a special medallion. It's almost like a keepsake, not necessarily anything worth value, but kind of like a knick-knack on their neck that represents their faith. And you can see the cord around his neck.
Was it like a dog tag or something?
Oh, he's naked.
Oh no, he's naked, but like imagine if like you used a flamethrower to shoot off armor. Like there's pieces of it's left, but he's like pretty fucked up.
Word. Well, I'm gonna look at it.
Awesome. It's
Tell me what it is.
It's a thing. It's like a little knick-knack. It's like just like kind of like, you know how some religious sects, they will build kind of like something that they can hang off a part of their body. Like in some faiths, it's like beads in their hair that come down in one strand, or it's a necklace of like a goat that they revere or something. It's just something small, like nothing too extraordinary.
Copy.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Ortolan to give me a perception check, please. All right, so as you're kind of surveying the scene as well at the same time this is all happening, just because of recent circumstance that set you on edge, kind of like falling out of the sky on a ball of fire. You kind of look around and you kind of realize that it's the time seems to flow slightly differently in the days here, and it seems like the sun is setting at like kind of an extreme rate. Like it's almost visible that you can see the sun moving in this location, and it's slowly setting.
Okay, as a stupid quasi-religious monk, I'm going to take note of this and take no interest in it whatsoever.
Very good.
But Ortolan notes internally that the days are a different length, but he's too he's not a clear enough thinker in that scientific regard to make to draw any conclusion from it.
Very good.
So he remains silent.
And I'll get everybody to roll a perception check.
Hey.
He's not really stupid. He's just not a scientific. He doesn't have a scientific mind. He's got the soul of a poet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's wondering what the sun is trying to say to him right now.
That sounds about right.
Actually, here, let's put it this way. You turn and you see Ortolan looking at the sun, and you see him silently mumbling to it while like fingering his staff like it's a saxophone, but he's not holding it to his mouth. He's just kind of idly drumming his fingers on the shaft.
Jesus Christ.
as if he's trying to serenade the sun with an imaginary flute.
Right on.
Jeez, you made it sound like you were jerking off to the sun.
Nars jerking off to the
moon. As far as you know, Ortolan is either a eunuch or celibate in some other way, because he displays no signs of
yeah, like
a reptilian brain whatsoever.
Yeah, he's completely like monkly, and like other than like his paintings and his monkliness, he's like so uninterested in everything.
That just sounds like a derogatory term, doesn't it?
Fucking word.
Monkly.
He's monkly. It's fucking excellent.
What? It's a perfectly cromulent word.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, Steve. So what ends up happening is so as you're packing away these clothing articles and all the stuff that the dwarf had, you're kind of ahead of the group a little bit because you were slightly leading. And as you look back at the group and you're kind of like, I'm indifferent to this whole situation, you can kind of see on the other side of the group, back where the Zeppelin was, you can see a giant fireball rise, rise, rise. It looks to be about 1,000 feet away, and it is a massive cloud.
Is it coming towards me?
Well, like it's hard to explain. Like, you know, when you
Is it
watch
like a
it,
mushroom cloud?
it's a mushroom cloud, but it's really far away.
All right, cool. I'm going to yell and put my thumb up in the air.
You guys all see this gigantic thing just go and put a thumb in the air.
Westra's not looking over at the guy taking all the clothes off of a dead dwarf.
All right.
Yeah.
So
There's
as
some
you
foot
guys,
shuffling happening.
guys are talking to this masked figure, you see she's also facing you guys with the Zeppelin on the other side of you, and you see her face, who's already very pale, start to glow brighter and brighter. And you start to hear kind of like the rustling of wind.
Steve's going to try to get to cover.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. How tall is this cliff?
About 30 feet.
Does the base of the cliff face away from where the explosion is coming?
No, it faces in the direction of where it's coming. So if you...
Well, that's useless to us.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna get Freckled to roll a history check for me. So you're able to see what happened behind them, and a giant mushroom cloud starts to form up in the air. Oh god, that hurt. My mistake. So this mushroom cloud goes up, and the first thing that comes to your head is, you know, a place that you could lead them that would be a direct path to that original farming city that's on the way back to your place. So you know of a location nearby you could go to gain shelter.
While this is all happening, I'm gonna go retrieve my scimitar, sheath it, and then I'm gonna tie my hunting trap to my rope and start trying to use it as a grappling hook to climb.
Oh, so you can still continue down the path. Like, there's still a way you can go straight down if you continue following the crater. Just where you are, you can't really see a way to climb up. So she kind of came down and hopped off a little side, and now she's in the gully with you guys. And she doesn't seem worried. She seems like very determined about something.
Yeah, so as she takes all that in, you just kind of pick up on the fact that she is pretty serious in getting the fuck on, and she's just starts walking in the east direction and shrugs her shoulders a little bit, and you can come if you want, you don't have to, but where you're at now, you're fucked. And she just walks away in that direction. And yeah.
Very good. So, as you guys are interluding and weaving through the caves, just so you know, I have to slightly fast forward this part because of time restraints. So, you basically make your way through the cave system and out on the other side with the farming village in front of you. You can actually see it as you guys come out of the hole.
Okay. We're just speeding ahead and getting to that. All right, cool.
Yeah. Sorry.
All good.
Because we're running close to the 2-hour time limit, and I know a lot of people said they couldn't play all night, but I want to get through this part before everybody disappears.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. All right, so you guys exit, and you can kind of see You're able to see the entire basin of the area. It's just out in the middle of a sand dune. There's no rocks. There's no nothing. It's just flat sand. And there's a farming village on the inside that you recognize that you've passed by quite a lot. You've never interacted with any of the citizens, but you know generally they're quite helpful to people coming in and out of that farming village.
Right, and the place she's trying to get to is just beyond them, correct?
Yes, just like as soon as you come out of the hole, you're looking dead ahead and it's right there, maybe 150 feet away. Like, not even far at all.
Are there any members of that farming community in seeing or hearing distance at all?
Oh, definitely. So, I forgot to mention this. While you guys were in the tunnel, the explosion was supposed to happen, and it was supposed to cave in and do yada yada, because I want to fast forward this part. You guys went through your travels in the cave. You guys felt the explosion, so you can kind of see it's a little bit of panic in this place with everybody running around. Nobody's necessarily seeing anything. But as you guys get closer, you can tell that there's like families going home to get their kids. There seems to be people jumping on camels, people just kind of separating in all directions to try to save everyone. There doesn't seem to be very much damage in this location because there was no shrapnel, but the wind velocity from the explosion kind of just scared everybody. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
I think so.
Oh, you're so lucky Scrog and Davos aren't part of this squad. Because Scrog sees the opportunity to set something on fire. It's like, oh man, like something blew over here and set this house on fire. Crazy.
Ianthe's just going to she's I mean, obviously it looks a little chaotic, but she's not even really taking note of that. She's just moving straight along. Like, she is
Awesome.
just trying to get through.
So what I would like to do is have you in character speak to the rest of the group as a suggestion on what to do. So there'll be a little role-playing exercise for us. So say, for example, you know for a fact that we need to keep going, and just how would you kind of suggest for them to come along? Because you know you kind of have a safe place to bring them to if shit goes down.
Well, for her, these people are neither here nor there for her, but she can tell that they're generally, they seem to be okay people. So she wants to try and help them, but if they don't want her help, then she doesn't give a fuck about it. So
Okay.
she's literally just going to be like, I'm going this way, and you can come or you don't have to. And that's
awesome. So now another question I have just for future is, are you trying to just go through as quickly as humanly possible, or are you throwing up your hood to make sure your face can't be seen? Like what? Okay, cool. Perfect. So as you guys see, it's kind of like Dune whenever you guys are farming town, nobody's really paying attention to you, but you see that there's actually maybe 20 or 30 feet in front of the center area of the town. There's 30 or 40 peasants just standing there in a circle, and you can kind of see that there's other people darting off in separate directions, but there's a pretty big congregation right in the middle, and there seems to be a debate going on.
What do we hear going on?
Like, you can hear like lots of men yelling at each other, like kind of like a debate.
Can we make out what they are debating about, or is it just general
garble?
Barbary?
General garble.
Borderland's gonna cup his big rabbit ears in the most efficient possible configuration and listen as hard as he possibly can.
Very good. So you kind of hear a lot of the citizens are talking about somebody called Ma'at. So it's M-A''AT.
Ma'at.
Oh.
No, go ahead. Do you got a question?
Well, I mean, he's the one hearing this, not Ianthe. I was going to ask if Ianthe.
If you ever want to ask me a question, can you, if that pertains to something like that, just be like, I got a metagame question, and that'll let me know exactly what you're referring to, and I'll be able to answer your question. So, like, for example, like, would my character, like, I got a metagame question. Would my character know if he was the only one there? That's a metagame question, and that's completely acceptable, so you can ask away. I
was just going to ask if Ianthe, if that name was familiar to Ianthe.
Ah, very good. Roll me a history check. Now, oh, you bitch. Fine. All right. So here's what happens as you kind. Fuck. All right. Oh, you just wrecked everything.
Nice.
Okay.
Good job, Freckle. You ruined his plans.
This is
So,
why D&D is fun.
fuck, I gotta come up with something. All right.
Like, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for this. So, through your travel, since your character has been around in this area, what did we decide? Between 25 and 40 years, or was it 25 and 75 years?
I
Damn.
think it was like 37 on the dot.
37 on the dot. So your character's been roaming this land for 37 years. So you've kind of accumulated general knowledge about what's going on. And the name Ma'at is referred to a general that patrols these parts is said to have some kind of magic to him.
She interacted with Mahat before.
You've never interacted with them, but you have heard stories. And you can kind of you recognize the name, and people have given you descriptions before just through passing, and it's generally not been a good thing. Okay?
When she hears that name being mentioned, she's gonna say, "Yeah, we're not here to fuck around with." And she's gonna leave it up to the group if they want to stay to figure out if they want to determine what's going on with all these peasants and why there's some arguing going on, if they want more intel. But for her, she's gonna just clearly say, we don't want to fuck with any of that.
Okay. So as you do, the group tends to look at you kind of weirdly. So the only way for you guys to proceed past this point is to get to the part of the crowd that's thin enough so that you can kind of walk through people to get to the other side. So there's a very large group of people and there's not a lot of space here, but you have to pass through 5 or 6 people's squares in order to get where you want to go.
So this little argument going on in the middle of town here is effectively barring our path from wherever we were being led to.
Nope, it's still passable.
Oh. That's just if we want to get in there and see whatever they're yakking about?
Yeah, you could easily just be like, okay, I'm just going to pass through this area, we're good, or you could stay and find out what happens. It's up to you.
Okay.
And that goes to everybody. So you see Ianthe just trucking her, trying to walk up to the crowd to kind of push her way through, and the rest of you are watching her do it. So what's going on?
I'm just going to follow that lady. She seems to know where she's going.
What about you guys?
Orland's still chewing pretty hard on this conversation he's listening to.
Us?
Sorry, one at a time. Go, Jack.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah.
All right. Well, Westra's going to turn to Ianthe and just kind of say, is this where you were taking us, this village? Where are you leading us to?
So even though you're rushing, Freckle, you kind of hear this beckoning voice of a fellow woman behind you, and you kind of take a look back, and you got just a really confused chick kind of holding up her hands, like, what, help me.
Yeah, exactly.
Help me understand this.
So Ianthe is going to take a second to turn around, and lift her hood slightly to where lift her head up slightly to where her full face could be seen. And on her face, you can see genuine expression. There isn't sort of any trace of malice or any hint of evilish manner that she's attempting to do. But she's just going to very clearly say, I'm taking you where I know you're going to be safe. And if you don't want to follow or trust that I'm going to take you there, that is your prerogative. But we need to move swiftly.
And I'm going to have Jack roll an insight check.
Okie dokie. Insight.
She's lying.
Oh, the dice have turned in my favor.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So you're still through your past traumas of like having people make fun of you for the way you look, Westra. You're able to discern that you're still not. You're very difficult in trusting, but you can always sense intent. But you don't seem to have any kind of a willful knowledge of her lying to you. And given the present
Okay.
situation in an unknown land, you might as well just tip your hat to her knowledge. That's how it kind of goes.
Westra's just going to kind of throw her hands up at the pretty much non-explanation and just go, whatever, and just follow along.
Very good. So as this conversation is happening, there's still people coming into the courtyard, and eventually the pathway behind you fills up with people, and the pathway in front of you fills up with people. I need everybody to make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I missed the thing, didn't I? There we go.
A silly question, but is there any way to zoom in your like
Images?
character sheet? No, your character sheet.
No, actually. I know it sucks. It really sucks.
there's no UI scaling either that we found.
The only UI scaling is on my end, and it makes the game unplayable because it's not for what we think it is. All right. So did everybody roll? Oh, wow, look at you guys. Everybody gets to see this. So you can kind of see the crowd get very silent. And off from the right-hand side of the village, you can see coming from one of the buildings is several people. The first one walks out with their hands extended outwards. And this is what you see.
Goddamn Jesus, man. Knew it. I knew it.
So you see this person, and I'm going to zoom it in for the people watching at home because that's kind of an important one. And this is going to be one of the pictures, Freckle, that you're going to want to just minimize to the point where you can move it like a tab across the screen, because I'm going to open a bunch of different pictures all at once, so you can keep them on the screen all at the same time if you want. Okay? So what you see is this person starts to walk to the center of the crowd, and everybody starts parting ways. And this person is holding what seems to be a golden scale. Also carrying a staff in the opposite end with 2 points. As this person walks to the center of the area, you end up hearing a conversation, and it goes as such. I need images. I need... this. Please open. Thank you. Okay, so as this person starts to walk through the center of town with everybody seems to be separating paths, this person, so you guys know it to be Ma'at. So we'll say that Freckle, you're able to tell that this is the person that you were thinking of by the identification of all the different parts of this person. And as this person walks out, you can see that he's holding his hands out left and right and holding his fingers out to the point where his fingers are just barely touching all of the residents' fingertips that they're holding kind of up in almost like a religious sign. And this person says, "What a beautiful day. It's like we're in heaven. Only it's not, is it? It's a darkness. Something it hides in our very hearts. We are here to make the world as much like heaven as possible. Who would like to go first?" A small boy, no more than the age of 17, stands up and approaches silently, hands held forward. "You're a brave man," says Maat, "offering your soul for judgment, wanting to serve our God, and even before he wakes. I judge you in Sobek's name, with but a fraction of his power." You can kind of see that the scale system that's holding in one hand starts to weigh back and forth as you guys see kind of like a purple hue in each of the sides. And they even as it falls flat. This is a face of a good man. And you see him raise his wrist in front of everybody, and the crowd just starts clapping, just applauding. And Moat turns and says, who would like to go next? This old-ass woman by the age of like 74 or 75 stands up and says, please, my pharaoh, I must know. And Moat calls him forward. Call me Moat. Come, will you accept the paw regardless of its outcome? And the woman says, yes. And he extends his hand forward and the weights begin to move again, this time shifting in a leftwards position, locking in one side heavier than the other. And Moat says, I'm sorry. The woman says, but I've been good my entire life. Moat says, I believe you. But the paw sees everything. Perhaps it's something that lies ahead. Well, I wish you could live to see the world we make. Yet Sobek has decided, and a purple hue envelops the woman and seems to suck her life essence out as she falls as a husk on the floor. And everybody begins to clap.
Okay. Can we leave the creepy religious cult village now?
I need everybody to roll perception
Both
checks.
Steve and be like, I dare you to go and do it. Did you hear me, Sean?
Yeah, I heard. But I'll get everybody to roll perception checks first.
Okay.
I see all.
Okay. So as the husk falls to the ground, the door opens in the building from whence this person came from. Out walks a very beautiful woman. She's holding a whip. But behind her, in the darkness of the room behind her, there seems to be snarls and howls of an unknown origin, and you guys get a chill in your spine. As the person steps forward out into the sunlight and into the main square, the noises begin to become louder, and 3 large feline cats exit from the room. And this is what you see. You're gonna like this one, Hongi.
Oh, I already know where we're going.
Yes, ma'am.
It's funny, I knew this picture he was going to use.
Oh, damn.
So this person takes 3 steps forward. The cats separate out and mingle in with the crowd. And she steps forward to Mohat and whispers into her ear. And I'm gonna say, Jaladri and Ortolan, you guys are able to sense her say by reading her lips, the eye is here. And you can kind of see Moat kind of takes a step forward, puts her hands on each of her hips, sighs greatly, takes a deep breath, and says, Ivut avut meet! And everybody in the crowd kneels down.
So we stand out like sore thumbs. Sore thumbs.
So
Now?
IMP immediately kneels down.
I follow suit, not to stick out more than I already do.
Is that everybody's?
Face lowered.
It's
to the
kind-
ground.
It's kind of the smart play
all the
here.
red-
I'm kind of like 7 foot tall and white in the desert. Not supposed to be here.
The turtles come
Yeah, I'm
from
kneeling
this
down and
group.
pulling the flag around my eye.
Very good. And you guys all just kind of go down on one knee. All right, he's going to make a spot check.
No, I'm gonna go total defense.
Just go get
I'm gonna lay down on the ground and suck in limbs.
There we go.
I dare somebody to stick
Yep.
their finger in that hole and find out what's in there.
All right. So whenever you guys go down, the cats that have been like in the audience are just like still mingling, going in back and forth. You don't sense any malintent from these large animals, and they seem to be doing the thing. You know, when cats rub up against your leg, they're doing that to all the villagers as they pass through. And you guys all kneel down right away. I need everybody to make a dexterity save.
So you have to do the little. How do you do a save?
Oh, fuck me.
So on the main part of your character sheet, On the right hand side by all the tabs, there's a column that says saves. You just grab the Dex one and then roll it in the window.
There you go. So,
All right, well, I did do the worst.
So what you end up seeing is Orthlin, you're able to make it down on one knee, kind of in sync with the rest of the group. But everybody else takes a slight half-second pause, look around before they do it, and they become kind of like, you can kind of see the chick with the whip just kind of look squintingly in your direction, but then she moves her glance across the rest of it, and you kind of go unnoticed. So you can kind of see them just patrolling back and forth.
Yeah, no, Ianthe's not doing shit. She's just she's just gonna stay kneel.
So behind you, you notice that you're kind of like up against like almost like an fenced location. So it's kind of like when you go to a four-way crossroads, you can kind of see that things would be stuck in the ground to kind of show how the road is. So as you kind of look around the crowd, you can kind of see a way out. You guys are, there's a way, like an escape route through the crowd that you might be able to get through really easily if like anything went down.
Would she use her finger to draw in the dirt on the ground?
Oh, yes, go right ahead. So what would you be trying to depict? So kind of imagine it's a crossroad and like it's up and to the right over some rocks, we'll say. And that's what you can kind of envision.
Okay, I think she would just quickly but slowly at the same time, because she doesn't want her movements to be noticed, she would just draw a little line and then one line like an X but with an arrow pointing towards the direction of the rock.
Very good. All right. So I'm not going to make you roll for anything like that. That was pretty descriptive. And I just want everybody to make perception checks.
Including Ianthe?
No, you don't have to. Everybody is looking.
Oh, yeah.
Not looking, my head's fully in my shell.
God damn it, Turtle, you make everything difficult. So yeah, everybody that is not the Turtle sees it. So
okay.
She's basically like, she's looking at you just kind of like,
You can tell that the timing's got to be right. She's not moved yet, so it's not. She doesn't feel like it's right for her to make that jump yet. But she's giving you a look that's like, be fucking ready.
Okay. Wester's just gonna like give a really teeny tiny nod and hope that you notice it.
Yep, and we'll say it does because now you're paying attention to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what I'm going to do is you guys have one of the following options. Actually, we'll say this. So as you guys are about to decide on when you should make your move, Ianthe, you're going to notice that the cats that are circling from within the crowd are kind of on an exported path from where you are. So it doesn't look like they're walking towards you, but they're walking away. So you get the inclination that it might be a good time to GTFO.
Could she where in like for Mahat and for this lady here, what's her name? I don't know.
Bastet.
Bastet, are they facing her? Could they see her?
Nope, they're currently intermingling with a large crowd. Like, if you stay low to the ground, it's going to be very difficult because of the distance back you are. You're about 20 or 30 feet back. So really, if you kind of stay low to the ground, you feel like you'd have a pretty good shot at getting out of here without being seen.
I mean, is this just RP or can she make a move kind of thing?
This is just RP. It's just RP.
Okay. So she's just gonna slowly kind of perch her body up, but keeping her limbs tucked in and her head down. And she's gonna pivot on her heels and turn in the direction she needs to be going, and walk as fastly as she can without making any sort of shuffling or additional noise.
Gotcha. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to roll a stealth check. And if you guys want to follow her, you all can do your stealth checks if you wish.
Yeah.
Westra is
My God,
not
I'm the
going.
stealthiest fucking turtle in the world.
Imagine that. Westra is not going to do a stealth check. She's
Ninja
going to
turtle.
just reach up and pull an eyelash, or like a little hair out of her eyebrow,
Uh-huh.
and just kind of wad it up in her hand and cast invisibility.
Nice. Do it. Throw it on your character. So as you guys are getting, she's just basically given the nod, like, Ianthe's given the nod 1, 2, and right before the count of 3, you just see Westra disappear.
Well, shit, Ianthe was gonna teleport the fuck out of there, but I wasn't sure if it was the right time.
Yeah, does anybody else have a reaction, or are you just going along? So I see stealth check, so we're good there. All right, so because of Ortolan, just because of like the fur on your feet, kind of muffles any sound that you would really make across the soft sand of the dunes. So you're able to make it out just fine.
Yay.
Ianthe, because of your general demeanor and your knowledge of the surrounding areas, you can make it through with no problem. No problem. Steve, whenever you're starting to move, you can kind of see, like in front of you, as you're making your slow ass move, there's like a couple of people a little further off to the left that are like looking around for a noise. And they just kind of bow back down and you make it through, no problem. All right, who am I missing here? Jaladri, you're just like, you could be like break dancing and not make a noise with that fucking roll. like, honestly. So Westra just goes poof, and you guys are all
pulling the Michelangelo, just...
Yep. So you guys end up making it about 20 or 30 feet outside of town, and it doesn't look like anybody was alerted.
That's good.
From here, I guess.
Westra is just going to kind of whisper, "I'm still here, lead the way."
Very good. All right, so Freckled, you're able to tell that it's only about a half an hour, 45-minute walk to the final place. So you know the way to go, so I assume you lead the way there.
Yeah, where's the sun setting?
So the sun setting is in front of you, which is the direction of your house. Good question. That was an amazing question. Because that helps me make maps.
How close is it to setting?
What's that? Oh, the sun is still setting. It's starting to... You can actually notice that there's been probably about a 6-degree change in the temperature from the time that you guys started to the time now. So it's kind of around... Oh, fuck. I'm Canadian, so no, I'm not even going to name a temperature because that's just going to confuse everybody. And
aren't we all Canadians here?
What's that?
Aren't we all Canadians here?
Fuck no. We got several Americans. So, yeah, so anyways, you know the direction it came. And as the entire group starts to proceed forward, you start recognizing the terrain out of where you're going. And this is what everybody ends up seeing after 40 minutes of travel. That didn't work. Why?
I got it.
Oh, did you?
I got a question mark.
Yeah, I know. The program wasn't responding. It should be good now.
Oh, there we go.
So this is what you end up seeing. So Freckled, you realize this is home base.
So as soon as that say Sandhaven, as soon as she can see it in the distance, she's just going to stop and turn around and address the group as a whole, but individually as well, and just I offer you all a safe place to sleep tonight. But I need to know that my safe place to sleep tonight will also be kept. She's kind of awkward in the way she words things, and you can tell she's getting a little fidgety with the idea of having people in her home.
Very good. So what is your
Well,
response,
that's
gathering
good.
I don't
Party.
think you
party?
have anything to worry about from us. We're
okay.
All right, let me hear
I
from...
mean, we're on a mission from God.
There you go.
Literally are.
Why I said it.
Orthlan, what is your response?
2.
What?
2.
To what? What?
What are you looking for a response to?
Oh, like she's...
You guys have been talking for a bit. So.
She's like said out loud like she's basically willing for you guys to come in, but she wants to know what your intentions are.
Oh, just that. I don't answer. He doesn't say shit. I thought you were talking about something else.
No.
No, Ortolan just stays silent and wise and looks at the rest of the group, stroking his rabbit stash.
All right. So
Unless someone looks at him directly and asks him directly, he's probably going to elect to stay silent.
all right. So yeah, you don't really get a response. Yeah, Anthony. So I'll get you to roll an insight check though for me, and that'll probably do.
Contemplative rabbit is contemplative.
Yep. He ain't a talker.
So Anthony's just kind of looking you guys over and chewing on her lip while she thinks.
There you go. So you can tell for a fact that your life is not in danger by any of these people. You sense like...
You know... Poor Glad pipes up and interrupts again.
Nice.
Is this cute or should I stop?
No, it's great. I love it.
He lives in his own little world. He really
Yeah.
interrupts. I'm sorry, I've had like 4 joints since we started.
Nice.
He goes, I see no other choice. Then he puts his staff on his foot and he starts twirling it anxiously and he's like, have you all seen the sun?
Have you
Western
ever
just face palms.
seen
Sort
the
of
rain?
we've all seen the sun. Thank you.
We are very far from home indeed.
Matter of fact, we've seen it so much that you've actually drawn me a picture of it.
I have. And I forgot about that.
Right on.
The wind and the sandy air brings danger. And I fear that unless we all work together, we may die soon. He seems to be, he has a 1,000-yard stare, and he seems to be like he's looking into a crystal ball, but he's looking into the sky.
I'm so high, I forgot we were talking about.
He immediately whips out like a little mini stretched canvas from his bag and starts to sketch with a piece of charcoal with the piece of canvas and kind of bent between his wrist and his shoulder.
Can you roll me a performance check? Can I get you to roll me a history check? As you complete your little drawing, and you kind of put your like final initials on it, you know that this thing could probably sell for like 7 rupees here.
You you see that as he goes to tuck it back into his bag, you see that it's a sketch of Yanthe with the sun in the background.
There you go. Frameable picture.
And then he looks back at the rest of the group
Nice.
as if he's surprised that anyone stopped talking when he piped up to begin with.
So as you kind of see above the curtain of stone that kind of overlays this area, up near the middle section of stone, you can actually see a cave system that proceeds downward with a large door. So I need you to so you have the key to this place already, and this door is in fact locked. So it's up to you to unlock it because this is your house.
Yeah, she's made the determination that if they wanted to kill
So
her,
I'm
they
just gonna-
probably already would, and they followed her this far. So she's gonna let them in, but she's hesitant and she's awkward about it too. So when she goes to unlock the door, she's a little fumbly, and she keeps like looking back, and then she just takes a deep breath and she nods and she just opens the door completely, and she doesn't say anything. She just goes in.
Right on. So as this person disappears into the black of night inside the hole, you guys are standing outside looking at the open door.
Oh, Wester just walks right in behind her.
Right on. So this is going to be where we're going to end it for the night.
Okay.
Wonderland's going to hang back and stare at the sky for like 15 minutes for reasons no one can understand.
And this is going
Perfect.
to be your home base. So
Oh,
Sweet.
cool.
so I'm giving you
Can't
guys
see
like
it.
a
Just a question mark.
Oh, is it unidentified? How about now?
The window came up, but it's just all blank. Like it's not black, but it's as if there's nothing there.
Really?
Yeah.
I got it on my end.
What's that?
I got it on my end.
That's what I thought.
I also have a black screen at the moment.
But it is black. Everybody's is black screen.
Not mine.
That's weird.
Sandhaven. I've just got a red question mark.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have. The red
Okay,
question.
so
mark.
I'll close it. Close that image, guys.
I
Okay.
just got it. I just got the map.
Maybe it just needs time to load.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it must have been loading. I have it too.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I closed mine.
I'll go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it. Sweet.
So that's going to be your new home base.
Cool.
So I'm just going to leave it there, guys. Any final thoughts? What you guys think?
Thanks for hanging tight with me as a D&D noob, guys.
Yeah.
No, that's all.
Yeah, it
that's
was
all
good.
good.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
You got to watch Dune, man. I think Orderland got a whiff of the spice.
Right on. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. All right, so I'm going to shut her down. So for anybody watching on YouTube, we'll see you guys in the next one. These are just going to be random dates and times. We're not actually doing anything scheduled. And yeah, we'll be in the Discord. All right. Peace out, people.
Bye.
this day forth, you put your faith in me.